So behind every legendary band is a drummer who can shape the band's sound from the ground up. And in today's video, we're counting down the 25 greatest drummers to ever grace a drum kit. Full transparency though, while drum solos are an impressive display of skill, they're not something that I really seek out or value that much myself. So if a drummer's claim to fame was their lengthy and fast drum solos, then they might not make this list. But when I was putting this top 25 list together, I focused more on things like their consistency in the pocket, the flavor that they bring to their band, and most importantly, the undeniable command behind the drum kit. With that being said, let's dive in and get this list started. So at number 25, Tony Williams wasn't just a drumming prodigy, he was the prodigy. By the age of 17, he was already playing with Miles Davis, bringing explosive energy and mind-bending complexity to jazz fusion. His groove had a push and pull that made it impossible not to move to. Williams didn't just change jazz, he rewrote the playbook on drumming. And if you listen closely, his influence is in the rhythm of just about every genre since. Number 24, Matt Chamberlin. Matt Chamberlin is the drumming equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. He can do anything and do it well, whether it's with Fiona Apple, Tori Amos, or even David Bowie. Chamberlin knows when to hold back and when to bring the heat. His drumming is as tastefully understated as it is rock solid, and in a world of showboating drummers, Chamberlin is the guy who quietly makes everything better without you even realizing it. And that, my friends, is true artistry. At number 23, Carpenter didn't just have a silky voice, she also had some serious chops as a drummer. Her playing on the Carpenters' many hits was subtle but powerful, always giving the song exactly what it needed. Number 22, Bill Ward. Bill Ward didn't just help create metal, he gave it a groove. And as the beating heart of Black Sabbath, Ward's jazz background brought a swing to heavy metal that still feels unique today. His fills were raw and unpredictable, giving Sabbath a wild and untamed energy. Sure, he wasn't the cleanest, but he brought a soul to the kit that was impossible to replicate. Oh, Lord, yeah. At number 21, Ginger Baker was the definition of a polyrhythmic genius, a jazz head in a rock world who brought African rhythms and improvisation to the forefront. His playing with Cream was explosive, but it was always intentional. Baker could go off on a tangent and still find his way back to the groove with just his sheer force of will. He had the ability to take a simple beat and make it sound like an unpredictable life or death struggle. He was just a true original. At number 20, Steve Gadd is the kind of drummer that other drummers fanboy over. Whether within the iconic groove of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, or his understated work with Steely Dan, he always knows how to serve the song. His drumming is a masterclass in subtlety and precision, and that's a big reason why many drummers want to be just like him.
Just slip out the bad Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. Don't need to be coy, Roy. You just listen to me.
So at number 19, Meg White might be the most polarizing drummer on this list, but I feel like her influence is undeniable. With the White Stripes, she kept it raw, primal, and simple, and that was her genius. Just listen to Seven Nation Army and you'll feel how her steady beat holds everything together while letting Jack White do his thing on the guitar. The White Stripes were able to make a whole lot of sound with just two people, and she doesn't get enough credit for how important she was to making that work. Also, I just recently put out a video about the White Stripes that I would love for you to check out after this video. So just as a reminder, I'll leave it on the end screen at the end of this one and also in the description. At number 18 on this list, Alex Van Halen was the rock-solid foundation of one of the most explosive bands of all time. His drumming was big, bold, and packed with personality. Whether it was within his work on Hot for Teacher or the thunderous intro to Jump, Alex knew how to keep the energy high without ever overplaying. His command behind the kit helped define Van Halen's larger-than-life sound, and let's be real, those double bass patterns were sick. At number 17, Carter Beauford is a human drum machine. He's one of the most technically gifted and ambidextrous drummers out there, and yet he never sacrifices his feel for any flashiness. His open-handed technique and effortless groove with the Dave Matthews Band make him stand out amongst the rest of the band. And on tracks like Ants Marching, Carter holds down a groove that feels like it's pushing and pulling at the same time. His ability to blend complexity with emotion is unmatched, and that's what really makes him a joy to listen to. At number 16, Lars Ulrich. Lars Ulrich is one of metal's most iconic drummers, and yes, I know, he's a lightning rod for criticism. But here's the thing, the dude knows how to make a riff hit hard. Lars has an undeniable ability to make songs feel huge. Whether it's the galloping beats on Master of Puppets, or the dramatic pauses in One, he knows how to create tension and release. He doesn't play for the song's technicality, he plays for its power, and Metallica wouldn't be who they are without him. At number 15, Jeff Porcaro was just simply a groove machine. And if you've ever heard Rosanna by Toto, you know exactly what I'm talking about. His drumming was smooth, tight, and deceptively complex. Porcaro's ability to lock into a groove and make it feel effortless was his superpower. Number 14, Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett. Sugarfoot's drumming is as smooth as his nickname. From Michael Jackson to Janet Jackson, his beats were the backbone of some of the most iconic pop hits of the 80s. His footwork was lightning fast, but it was his feel that made him stand out. Whether it was his syncopated bass drum grooves or his ability to lock in with the dancers on stage, Moffett's pocket was tight. His drumming didn't just hold down the rhythm, it elevated the entire performance. At number 13, Dave Grohl. Now Dave Grohl's drumming is built on pure power and instinct. I really don't like the guy himself, and I think Foo Fighters songs in general are rather generic, but his drum work on some of the most important rock songs of the early 90s is what ultimately lands him on this list. He's certainly been an influence on many young drummers based on his role alongside Kurt Cobain. At number 12, Vinnie Colaiuta. He's someone that you see on all of the top drummers lists because, well, he's just that damn good. His ability to play anything from jazz to rock to fusion is just unmatched. And he doesn't just impress with his speed or complexity, he knows how to groove in any setting. You know, ultimately at the end of the day, he's someone that is respected within the industry as just a drumming wizard. At number 11, Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac. With Fleetwood Mac, he held down a groove that made the band's hits just unforgettable. Tracks like Silver Springs, for example, is kind of a deep cut, but it's just a masterclass in restraint and consistency, as he just knew when to sit back and let the song breathe. So before we jump into the top 10, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Last Few Spins for more music related content. Narrowing down this list of incredible drummers was no easy task, and I know that there are plenty of legends who didn't make the cut, but I'd love to hear who you would have included or how you would have ranked them differently. Drop your thoughts down in the comments below and let's keep this conversation going. But for now, let's get into the top 10. Just breaking into the top 10, Jimmy Chamberlin's drumming on the song Cherub Rock is like the sound of the universe collapsing and reforming. It just sounds intense, dynamic, and unpredictable. He has this rare ability to switch from a thunderous barrage of beats to a delicate, intricate groove without missing a beat, pun intended. He can make a ballad feel more like a heavyweight bout, and that's what made his role within the Smashing Pumpkins so important. Chamberlain's always been the secret sauce within that band, I feel like, even within on the surface, a band that seems like it's known mostly for its frontman. At number 9, Phil Collins. Now Phil Collins might be best known for his vocals, but that drumming of his, legendary. His work with Genesis and his solo career is a masterclass in musicality, groove, and creativity. Whether it's the driving force behind In the Air Tonight becoming as mythical as it is, or the intricate rhythms on Invisible Touch, Collins has this uncanny ability to make even the most complex patterns sound effortless.
The stage, Phil Collins. We want
Buddy Rich.
At number 8, Buddy Rich. Now Buddy Rich didn't just play the drums, he dominated them. One of the best technical drummers to ever live, Buddy Rich was a powerhouse of speed, precision, and intensity. And though his drumming could get fast and furious, he always knew when to make it swing. And his legacy lives on in every drummer who has ever tried to break the speed barrier with their drumsticks. At number 7, Ringo Starr. Now Ringo Starr isn't just the drummer of the Beatles, he's one of the most iconic and influential drummers of all time. And honestly, that groove on Come Together just still gives me goosebumps. Ringo's simple but distinctive style was the heartbeat of the Beatles, and without it, who knows if we'd even have half of the pop music that we have today. At number 6, one of my personal favorites, Matt Cameron. Matt Cameron is the kind of drummer who can hold down the rhythm for two of the biggest bands in rock history and make it look easy. Whether it was with Soundgarden or with Pearl Jam, Cameron's drumming is built on power and precision. His playing can be delicate like on Black Hole Sun, but he knows how to bring the hammer down when it counts, and that's what makes him one of the best in the game. So now we're breaking into the top 5 of my greatest drummers of all time list, and just sneaking into the top 5 is Keith Moon. Keith Moon's drumming was like an explosion in a fireworks factory. Loud, chaotic, and absolutely unforgettable. His work with The Who wasn't about playing the beat, it was about destroying it. Moon's drumming was a whirlwind of energy, unpredictability, and pure joy. He wasn't afraid to break the rules, and in doing so, he created some of the most exciting and unpredictable rhythms in rock history. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Stewart Copeland. Now, Stewart Copeland didn't just drum for the Police, he sculpted their sound. His drumming is an intricate blend of jazz, punk, and reggae influences that created the perfect storm for the band's hits. With his distinctive snare sound and impeccable timekeeping, Copeland knew how to make every beat count. Whether it's within the driving rhythms of Roxanne, or the percussive intricacies of Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, Copeland's drumming was both the backbone and the heartbeat of the Police. At number 3, we have Tool's Danny Carey. Now, Danny Carey is the kind of drummer who can make you rethink everything you know about rhythm. With Tool, he's crafted some of the most complex and cerebral drum parts in rock, but don't let that fool you. His groove is as infectious as it is mind-bending. Carey's drumming feels like it's from another dimension, always pushing and pulling in ways you wouldn't expect. And his insane precision and ability to create intricate rhythms makes him one of the most innovative drummers of his generation. Number 2, Led Zeppelin's John Bonham. Now, John Bonham's drumming was Led Zeppelin. His powerful, heavy grooves drove the band's sound, from the bombastic thundering of Good Times, Bad Times to the hypnotic swing of Kashmir. Bonham had a way of making the simplest beats sound massive, like a tidal wave crashing over you. His combination of raw power, technical skill, and impeccable timing is why drummers still try to copy his style. Yet no one can do what he did. He had a unique touch, and once he hit the kit, it was impossible to forget. His legacy is the sound of rock drumming. But at number 1, the greatest drummer of all time, we have Neil Peart. Now, Neil Peart wasn't just a drummer, he was a philosopher with a drum kit. Now, his work with Rush was both technical and musical, blending complex time signatures, intricate fills, and melodic patterns into something that still blows minds to this day. Peart's precision was unmatched, but what truly set him apart was his ability to make every piece of music feel meaningful. He didn't just play the drums, he told stories with the drums. The man could play any genre, any rhythm, and still make it sound like a masterclass in technique and soul. Peart's drumming defined an era and influenced generations of drummers to push their own limits. And that's why he is the greatest drummer of all time.